Today on Lorehammer, we are getting a peek at one of those reading lessons that Trevor Beuzac is giving Mark. Sit back and enjoy, and you too may learn a thing or two about High Gothic. Now Mark, focus. High Gothic isn't just a language. It's a reflection of the Emperor's divine will. Every word, every phrase is laden with sanctity. Let us begin with something simple. Simple? Trevor, this looks like a lasgun manual written by a lunatic. Where do I even start? Patience, my friend. The first step is understanding the structure. See this word here? Imperatorus? Yeah, I guess it's emperor? Exactly, but not just any emperor. It refers to the emperor in his most exalted and divine state. It's a genitive form, which means it shows possession. For instance, in nomine imperioritis, it means in the name of the emperor. Repeat it. In nomine imperioritis. Close, but not quite. It's imperioritis, not whatever you said. Remember, precision is key in High Gothic. Mispronounce it and you might accidentally invoke a chaos demon instead of the Emperor's blessing. Right, I got it. Imperioritis. What's next? This phrase here, Gloria in excelsis terracic. A beautiful one. It means glory to the highest and upon the earth. Note how excelsis conveys loftiness, while terracic ties it to the mortal realm. Repeat after me. Gloria in excelsis terracic. Gloria in excelsis terracic. Terracic? Better, you're learning. Now let's tackle a full sentence. Here's a passage from the Litany of Purity. Listen carefully. Ad imperioritis thronum assidimus. Cordo pure it animo forti, ut fidem nostrum revominis it hostis disponius. That almost sounds like a hymn. What does it mean? It means we approach the Emperor's throne with a pure heart and strong spirit, that we may renew our faith and scatter our enemies. Note the rhythm. It is meant to be recited with reverence. Let's break it down. Ad imperioritis thronium assidimus. We approach the Emperor's throne. Assidimus means we approach. Assidimus. Got it. What about corde purio? Ah, good eye, Mark. Corde purio means with a pure heart. Cor is heart and purio is pure. When you combine them, you get the phrase. See how it elevates the idea of spiritual purity? Yeah, this is harder than I thought. It's like every word has 10 meanings. Exactly. High Gothic isn't for the faint of heart. Let's try the next line. Et amo forti. It means with a strong spirit. Repeat it. It amio forti. You're getting the hang of it, Mark. Now for the last part. Ut fidem nostrum revomius ist hostis dispersium. And it translates to, that we may renew our faith and scatter our enemies. Notice the verb revomius. It's where we get the Low Gothic word, renew. So like, High Gothic is the ancestor of Low Gothic? Exactly. Low Gothic is derived from High Gothic, though much of its elegance has been stripped away. High Gothic remains pure, untouched by time or common usage. Alright. Let me try putting it all together. Ad imperioritis thronum assidimus corde purio it umo forti, ut fidem nostrum revomius it hostis disponius. Yes, excellent, Mark. With more practice, you'll be reciting litanies with a seasoned chaplain. Thanks, Trevor. But if I accidentally summon a demon, I'm blaming you. Fair enough. Just remember, in High Gothic, every syllable is a prayer. Treat it with respect, and the Emperor will guide your tongue. Alright, let me try again. Ad Imperioritas Thronum Asademus. Mark, Asademus. By the Emperor's light, you're not storming a scholium lecture hall. Sorry, it all blurs together after a while. You got so many extra letters that don't seem to do anything. Those extra letters, as you call them, carry centuries of meaning and sanctity. High Gothic is not some sloppy battlefield cant. It is the Emperor's tongue, the language of his holy decrees. It deserves reverence. Every word in High Gothic is a prayer. Say it as though you're etching it into the stars themselves. Etching it into the stars? Got it. No pressure. Good. Now that you're grasping the structure, let's move to a slightly more complex passage. This one comes from the Canticle of Unyielding Valor. It's favorite among the Adeptus Astartes. Listen carefully. Imperator o lex aeternum, in temperis sumus sed in tamo manu victoria est, ad te cameras et hostes cantit citilla folia in flamma. Yikes. Okay, that sounded intense. What does it mean? Emperor, O eternal light, we are in darkness, but your hand is victory. To you we cry, and our enemies fall like leaves in the flame. It is often recited before battle, calling upon the Emperor's strength. Alright, let me try. Imperata? Stop! Imperator! Mark, it's not imperata. You sound like a drunk trying to haggle for rations. I'm trying, Trevor. This isn't exactly easy, you know. I know. Forgive my temper. It's just, this language is a reflection of faith. To speak it poorly feels like a slight to the Emperor himself. Let's try again from the beginning. Imperator o lex aeternum, in tembrius sumus, sed in tua manu victoria est, ad te calamus ist hostis candit sicita folia in flammia. Not bad, Mark. Your pacing was still uneven, and you slurred sictor folia into one blob, but overall, not bad. So you're saying I'm a natural? Hardly. But you're improving, and that's something. High Gothic takes decades to master. You've barely been at it for an hour. Now, let's break it down again. Imperator o lux aeternium. Repeat that. Imperator o lux aeternium. Good. That means the Emperor, O light eternal. See how it flows? Each word is like a step in a holy procession. Feel the weight of the syllables as you speak them. Imperator o lex aeternium. Yeah, I think I get it. It's like reverent. Exactly. And what about the next part? In temperis sumus. It means we are in darkness. Say it. In temperis sumus. Better. Now, the last part. Sed in tau manue victory est. But in your hand is victory. This phrase encapsulates the faith of all mankind, that even in despair the Emperor holds the key to triumph. Sed in tau mana victory est. Very good, Mark. Now try the entire passage again. This time, imagine you're standing before an altar, delivering this plea to the Emperor himself. Imperator o lex aeternum, in temperis sumus, sed in tal manner victory est, ad te clamius et hostis canduct siccus folia in fluma. Well done, Mark. At this rate, you might even manage a recitation for the ecclesiarchy one day. Not bad for a drunk, eh? Don't get cocky, but yes, you've come a long way. Now let's see how you handle the litany of eternal vigilance. It's only twice as long. Twice as long? Emperor, preserve me. The Emperor helps those who help themselves. Do you know why High Gothic is so revered even amongst those who can't speak it? Because it's old and fancy. I mean, it sounds like something only the ecclesiarchy could come up with. It's old and fancy, yes, but it's so much more than that. High Gothic is not just a language, it's a bridge to the past. Every syllable, every phrase carries the weight of millennia. It's a connection to the Emperor's Great Crusade, to the days when humanity stood united under one banner. Alright, but why does it have to be so complicated? Half the words look like they were designed to trip me up. Its complexity is part of its sanctity. High Gothic isn't meant to be easy. It demands effort, focus, reverence. Take this word here, Aeternitas. What do you see? A lot of vowels? True enough, but let's break it down. Aeternitas. It means eternity. So the word itself is a construct, a hymn to the idea of something everlasting. Do you see? Even in the syllables, it carries meaning. So it's not just a word. It's like a whole concept in miniature form. Precisely! High Gothic is a language of ideas, not just sounds. It weaves meaning into its very structure. Take another example, Exterminatus. You've heard this one, I assume? Yeah, it means wiping out a whole planet, right? Correct. But why does it feel so powerful? It's the syllables. Mark, X conveys separation or removal. Terminatus comes from terminus, meaning boundary or end. So the word itself feels final, absolute, because it is final. It's the end of all things. Spoken aloud, it carries the weight of that meaning. Try it. Exterminatus. Good. Now think of this. High Gothic also uses euphony, the harmony of sounds, to evoke emotion. Words like excelsius or gloria rise and fall like a chant. They sound grand because they are grand. It's no accident. Every letter, every accent is deliberate. So it's not just about what the word means, it's how they make you feel when you say them? Exactly! That's why the ecclesiarchy uses them in litanies and hymns. The language itself reinforces devotion. Even those who don't understand High Gothic feel its power. A simple phrase like Ave Imperator, Hail the Emperor, resonates because it's designed to. Say it aloud. Ave Imperator. Do you hear it? The strength in Ave, the reverence in Imperator. This is why we study it, not just to read sacred texts, but to experience them. It's a language of the soul. I think I get it now. It's not just fancy words, it's history, faith, and meaning all rolled into one. Well said, Mark. And remember, mastery of High Gothic isn't about fluency, it's about understanding. Even a single word spoken with reverence can carry the weight of an entire prayer. So what you're saying is I'm basically fluent after today? Not even close, Mark. But you've taken the first step, and that's more than most. Now let's tackle the opening lines of Credo Omnissiah. You'll love the syllables in this one, like bolts of a plasma conduit. Trevor, why does this feel like it's going to hurt my brain? Because it will. But pain is a path to enlightenment. Now, repeat after me. Well, we hope that you enjoyed listening to Trevor teach Mark more about language and the meaning behind High Gothic. This isn't the first and won't be his last lesson. Join the Patreon, and one day Mark may actually learn to read.